Dharma path, they included study, that is studentship, married life, grahastha. After fruition, begin to learn to relinquish attachment, that is tapada, and devote oneself, and finally to realizing the power of one's own self. That is the sannyasa. That's also called sarva sannyasa. So that is atma understanding. And now we call anmika is only understanding of atma at the final stage. Other things are all stages in the progress. Brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha and sannyasa, these lead man to progress in individual life. So these are dealt with in the Dharma Shastras. We have a large number of Dharma Shastras. One of the earliest one is Gautama. Gautama has got a Srauta Sutra, Dharma Sutra. And then we have Manu. Then Apatamba, what you call Bodhayana, Asvalayana, Drakhyayana, and so many Sutrakaras are there. So we all belong to one or other sutra, Dharma Sutra, and in our daily life, birth rights, marriage rights and progress, we follow it. So if you ask someone, they will say, I belong to Apastamba Sutra or Bodhayana Sutra. But of course in modern times they don't understand what is Sutra. Many people are not able to say that. But still we follow in our marriage rituals. And all rituals, domestic life, we follow the Dharma Shastras of particular sage. Agastya was also a Dharma Sutrakara. And all these are mentioned in the copperplate charters of the Cholas, who gifted many Agraharas, particularly in the Chola country. They list. We have some information, interesting information. This Rajendra Chola, first Rajendra Chola who built the Gangaikonda Chola Brahma, he established a colony of Vedic scholars at a place called Puttur, near Saliyamangalam, near Tanjore. And he brought 1,000 Brahmanas, 1,008 Brahmanas, and established a Vedic college called Tribhuvana Mahadevi College. And there he gives the list of the number of students, the number of subjects like Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda, and Vriksha Sutras or Dharma Sutras, and also Valmiki, Ramayana and Mahabharata as part of the Vedic culture. And this he says that he established it in the name of his mother. And in this he followed what is said as Matru Devo Bhava. Worship thy mother as God. And that he established. And his son, the third son, this is the second son whom I mentioned about, the Rajendra too. The third son brought 50,000 Brahmanas from Karnataka, Andhra and Telugu region, and brought them to Tamil Nadu. What is amazing is their complete address is available. From where they came, what was their Vedic affiliation, what was the Dharma Sutra they followed, and where originally they were settled and came. All these details are given amazingly in their copperplate inscriptions. And these inscriptions are drafted according to set style given by Yajnavalkya. When you make Bhuvdhana, you have to put it in writing, which is called Lekhya Pramana. And on the basis of this, the king gifted this Dana. Dana is one of the most important aspects of Hindu life, be it Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, or even Sudras. And so how to give Dana is also mentioned in the Yajnavalkya Smriti, and that is exactly reflected in the copperplates. And that there is a technical word called Nibandha. This is given for this purpose, something like trust deed, and that they follow And that's where we get all these details. Now, the first one, dharma, deals with the individual life, birth, studentship, marriage, and tapestry, and then sannyas. All these are related to the individual's progress. The second one deals with the man in society. He has to earn, so he has to acquire wealth through legal means, approved means, and that money and property must be protected. And for this, the power was given to one selected life, and that is the king. And he has to give protection to the people so that they can earn, they can enjoy the benefit of the earning. And so that comes under artha part. Dharma is individual life. Artha is the man in the society, how he has to live. And in the process, he has to have this assembly, administration, civil administration, and judicial administration, and also council, the right council, ministers, to advise him how to do it. And all these are all dealt with in the dharma and artha part. So artha shastra plays an important role in Hindu life. And then, now friends, now these division of dharma, artha and kama moksha is applied to varnas. Varnas we interpret, or sometimes or more often we misinterpret, which as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya and Shudra. This is not based on birth. As Krishna himself says, that Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagata, the quality and his profession. So the division is mainly based on profession. The Brahmins never created this caste system. It was created by immemorial, it came from immemorial, which they call Prajapati. Prajapati created this. Why he created? There are thousands of tribes all over. One tribe won't mix with the other tribe. They won't marry with the other tribe. So they were all living scattered all over. But this introduction by Prajapati made one caste responsible for interpreting law, dharma, and that is Brahmana. Kshatriya, his duty is to protect the people, Raksha. And third, merchant, his duty is to create economy, wealth, which can be enjoyed by the grahastha. And then, of course, you have a labor force, Sudra. So, thousands of tribal people were brought right into, whether he is in Himalayas or in Madhya Pradesh or in extremely extreme. This division brought them together and united the people and never divided the people, which has been told to us by the Westerners, and we keep on repeating, caste has divided the people. Caste never divided the people. They brought the people together and brought them into four main streams. And so we have this creation of this. The fourth is the labor force. What we call Sudra was very early recognized into upper caste Sudra and lower caste Sudra, because the kings were protected by the village people, and when the village Sudra gets victory for him, the king honors him with a gift of land. Sometimes he marries the daughters of these men, these heroes, and so they come up in the caste hierarchy and they become equal to the king, and they were become landowners, and so they were also eligible to study Veda. So Dharma Shastras prescribe Dvija. Most of the customs we follow are not only confined to Brahmanas. All these were applicable to the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya and the upper caste people. Lower labor force need not follow all this discipline. If they can go to the nearby temple, they get all the benefit of what you do with your rituals. That's what medieval commentator Rachinarkiniya in the medieval times he mentioned. So, the first thing we must know, we have an introductory verse in Manu Dharma that what he says is, that one which is respected by learned men, not only learned men, but who are also Silavan, who observe discipline, Sadbihi. And it is not only Sadbihi, Nityam, always, who were above love and hatred, desire and hatred towards another. And not only all these qualities, he says, it must also be acceptable. Hridayena-pyanujñātah. One should reflect in his mind whether what he does is correct or wrong. And so, if these qualities are available, he is the man who can administer dharma. And that is the qualification of the Brahmanas mentioned in Manu Dharma Shastra. So, that is the first one. There is nothing religious in it, as is mentioned in our literature. What is important is learning, observance of discipline, above love and hatred, and that he must be convinced what he is doing is correct. So these are the qualities given by Manu in his Qualita, and he calls it Dharma. And this text deals with this Dharma, he says at the beginning, first chapter, and then he says what are the other functions. And so he emphasizes the division is by profession and not by birth. There may be, he says at one place, 1,000 Brahmanas who may say, I am born in this family. That will not help. If one man with Sila is available, he is the Brahmana and not the other one. That's what Manu says. So, we are not interpreting Manu properly. In his original one, we only repeat what the Western system has told us. Next one. We have Varna as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya and Sudra. This was not a rigid division. There was movement, freedom. And so mixing of caste, upper and lower, was quite common and approved by the Dharma Shastrakaras. And they were also divided on the basis of profession. Most of these, craftsmen are Analoma or Pratiloma Jatiyas. Next one. Now, the laws enunciated in the Dharma Shastras were made applicable to all castes. All castes. So it's not confined only to Brahmana, or as these people say, we don't want Manu Dharma. It is applicable to all castes, including the Analomas and Pratilomas. So another aspect of life for the Khans, spiritual merit is dana. Dana, Brahmana also must make dana, Kshatriya and Vaisya. And then this is mentioned, how you do the dana, it has to be legalized. So you have to pour water in the hands of the donee, symbolically telling that you relinquish your right over that property in favor of the donee. This is what we do in daily ritual without knowing what we are doing. It may be a small money or small vastra or anything. Anything you give, you relinquish your right over that and give it to the other man. That is prescribed in Dharma Shastra, and that is mentioned again and again in Sangam literature. The kings of Tamil Nadu have poured water and gifted, and that is mentioned is. And also, these are next one. The life of Brahmachari, the first ashrama, emphasized the study of student and the real learned teacher. We cannot go and leave our children under substandard, third standard teacher. What is the use of Katradhanalaya Payan Engol? Val Arivan Natral Tolar is the second sutra in Tirukural. Unless he is a learned man, what is the use of learning under a stupid fellow who comes to the post of a teacher now, and that is useless. And so one has to honor a teacher. Then the concept of script was not in use. Here I want to mention our system derives its inspiration from Vedanta. And in the Vedanta, Taittiriya Upanishad is the most important Upanishad. And it first starts with Shikshavalli. Shikshavalli begins as Varnaswaraha, Matra Balam, Sama Santanaha. This is all. In 3 sutras, the Upanishad tells you how to communicate. Varna is akaradik, shakarantam is the varna. Says Shankara in his Bhashya on Taittiriya Upanishad. Akaradik, shakarantam is varna. Also, sari, gama, pa is also varna. That one. Then swara, going up and down and middle. So, in ancient times, when a word is pronounced, the up and down pronunciation varies meaning. It cannot be written down in script. So, it has to be studied under a teacher. Vada. The meaning is different, same word. So, they emphasized correct pronunciation, and this is what we call swara, varna swara. So up and down. Third one, that is matra. It goes on the horizontal level. It extends. So that is matra. And that matra is produced. It may be 1 matra, 2 matras, and in music it can go on to any number, depending upon the strength you have. So it is called matra balam. It comes out of balam. Then you put these together and form words, pada. And pada you join, you get sentences, meaning. So this is called samhita. But in ancient times, they mainly emphasized the musical aspect of pranayam samhita. So Veda is always sung, and Sama is given so much importance only because of that. And for this, within these 3 sutras, Varnaswaraha, Matra Balam, and Sama Santana, Shikshavalli. That's what in the ancient teachers taught the students when they were given how to pronounce the word, how you communicate the meaning. And that is the first part. Then came script. Script is only nearer to the sound, not exactly to the sound, as I told you. And so, it is the recitation part, oral communication was given an importance. That's being given by the teacher, and that's why even now when we call music, yaaritta shiksha kepo. We don't say yaaritta poi padichenu solradilla. Shiksha valli. That's the Taittiriya Samhita. This Shiksha valli again goes on to say the student must go for bhiksha. when he is with the teacher, he will go and Bhiksham Dehi. He goes to the nearby, and that continues symbolically even to this day. Shiksha. That's called Bhikshatana. And then there is one system which is called Padasparsana. The great teachers, as soon as you meet the great teacher, you go and touch their feet. Padasparsana. The student is given training in discipline by touching these two. That's why we have even now in northern India, when you go, they always touch this. Even now that continues. And we also, Abhivadi, we say Padasparsana. This Tirukural, the 3rd chapter, he speaks about that. And then the last one of the Dharma part in Tirukural, the first part in Tirukural is Aram Valiyuruthal. But Aram Valiyuruthal is what the teacher of Taittiriya Upanishad says. Dharmam chara satyam vada swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. This is what is dharma. What is dharma? That is why these people, we don't know what is dharma. They don't want even to pronounce what is dharma. The dharma of Upanishad, Hinduism, is satyam vada. That's why they won't be able to say, in modern times, I can say something in the morning, something else in the midday, and something else in the evening. The politicians don't want satyam vada. That's why they don't want dharma to be pronounced. But in Upanishad, satyam vada, dharmam chara, matrudevo bhava, pitrudevo bhava, acharya devo bhava, atiti devo bhava. All these are the dharma gunas. What is religious in it? Nothing. It is a first-class mode of living. And so, they don't understand what is dharma. This is dharma which is reflected in Buddha. Buddha wrote what is called Dharmapada. In Dharmapada, in several chapters, he gives the discipline. The last chapter is called Brahmana Vargo. That is Brahmana Varga. He says, Brahmana is the highest stage one can reach. They don't tell us what Buddha taught. They tell all sorts of unverified concepts. But Buddha says, those who follow these principles, I call him Brahmana. I call him Brahmana. I call him Brahmana. That is the culmination of his teaching. So he says that he is Brahmana. Brahmana Vargo. Like that. This was followed by Asoka, the great ruler in 3rd century BC. He wrote Satyam Vaktavyam, Dhammam Acharitavyam, Mata Pitrishu Susrushitavyam. Exact borrowing, exact repetition of what is found in Taittiriya Upanishad. Asoka has written in all the pillar edicts, in the rock edicts and stone edicts. So what Buddha said, what the Taittiriya Upanishad said was repeated, and he says, Ete dharma guna. And what he says is, he never says that I am preaching Buddha Dharma. He says, this is Paurani Prakritihi. This is the ancient system that I am trying to emphasize, and so I appointed Dharma Mahamantras. So we have the tradition coming from Veda to Upanishad, and Upanishad to Buddha, Buddha to Maurya, Asoka, and all the other kings, they up to a certain period, Dharma Maharajas. They always say, I am Dharma Maharajadi Rajaha. So his function is to protect Dharma. And so, when Veda and Vedic Upanishads became little difficult for us to understand, they introduced the Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are essence of the Vedas. So, Ramayana and Mahabharata are part of Vedic culture, and they studied in Vedic colleges Ramayana and Mahabharata.
Some stories are inspirations, some stories are incidents, and some stories are memories. I want to tell you a story of hope, a story of unlimited happiness. To others, Rasa focuses on holistic development through artistic experience. Dance, drama, music, storytelling, and theatre is what they would see. But I saw much more. And to me, Rasa is a place of unconditional love, all made possible by the founder, Ambika Kameshwar.
Adalum, Badalum, Nadanamum, Belabele.
Hey! Ayo! Ramanala! Lakshman!
காட்டுக்கு போகணும். உன்னை விட்டு 14 வருஷம் காட்டுக்கு போகணும்.
அதோ ஆண்டலகுல அந்த Sometimes flaws can be so beautiful and mistakes can be treasurable. What happens when you dance from the heart? It connects you to the soul. And what happens when you connect to the soul? It allows you to dissolve into an experience of ultimate bliss. And what happens when you forget yourself and just be? Then life is a celebration, just like Rasa.